finished watching Altered Carbon, but we just pulled out all this paperwork. I have a hard time with this stuff, but we're going to try and sort some of it out. A few of them are multiple copies of my file, which I am going to request another file, which should come like this. I have to go to wsib, go into the lobby, and make the written request in person. That's the only way they accept it. But we're gonna, some of these are my personal files and the other ones are wsib's files. I'm going to have Jay's help in getting some organization, not total organization, but a start, because it'll be too mentally exhausting to do it all, actually. But I want to for a book anyway, but this is also in preparation, because I'm locked in benefits, but that woman would have been too, because after wsib tribunal, and after a certain amount of time passed, they lock in your benefits. They have to, because they have to make a decision one way or the other whether you're getting continued benefits or not. Considering she was several years in, obviously they did. So I'm gonna fight them if I have to, but I know that if they should do this to me as well, what they're doing to her, I'm gonna be a freaking mess, and so I'm gonna try and do what I can now to prepare myself a little bit more, just so that when I do get a lawyer, probably see, that's who they sell you to when you go on the LMR program. When they do lawyer up, I will have a lawyer, and I can also present my lawyer with some organized materials. And that's not counting all the paper journal entries I wrote during going through it all, from when I first was working to things I went through, to online journal entries as well. But that I'll leave for another day, because but yeah, this is only a sample of what you go through. So it isn't like when people are like, oh, well, maybe like the person was fraud, blah, 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 blah. No, they go through everything in your life, and they go over it and over, and they even pick it apart and take things to crap. And they make mistakes throughout their whole thing so often, probably so that they can say this was said and this wasn't said. It's just really exhausting. But believe me, it's not like anybody who thinks that she could have frauded it has no idea of this is appeals thing. I get a copy from my appeals representative of what they had going through representing me, from my doctor's things to this is one, and this was all this. This was at my appeals tribunal, and that was just my representative, and that wasn't cross-examining or anything like that. So yeah, it's for them to go after her. I don't think that they'll win, but they want to scare people, and they are. I'm scared, but I'm going to be prepared. One thing that helped me win my appeals was being prepared. So anyway, I'm going to at least get some of these papers in order, preferably by year, but for stuff like this, it'll be more like type as well. So that'll be for Jay and I just took a Xanax. I'm supposed to take one in the morning anyway, but I usually take them at night. That's Jay's, not mine, just in case this video goes to somebody else. Yeah, I have to try. Okay, I'm going to list your messages now. For dealing with and these go to 2000? No, 99? 2000? To 2011. This is my fax book, contact dermatitis, and the material safety data sheets from work, and all this shit. This here is the wsib Appeals Tribunal. This is case record volume 1 of 2. Volume 2 of 2. These were given to me by my appeals representative. Case record amendum 1. Amendum 2. Amendum and 6, which I got candle wax on at some point. These were just, these here is what the representative for my claim at the final tribunal had, along with the people across the table from her, had this. And she outlined things she was going to, you know, she would have to be able to refer to shit in this. And a lot of this is copies of what's in the files. My files, these files are different from, these have a lot of my doctor's stuff and other personal stuff, but it's all medical in the documentation. This, that's when I worked. Oh yeah, I haven't sent them the pays for, these are when I had a job once. Okay. Enclosed are documents for your information only. No access. Is this the one that says that we messed up? No. Anyway, yeah, there's one of these copies that has that, where the internal memo. But I'm just trying to get some organization here. So these, so anybody who doubts this woman and thinks that she went into wsib and threw a wool over the eye, included in here are numerous reports, not only the wsib's notes, doctors' records, full doctors' records, work records, very numerous assessments, and it goes on and on and on. So it's not like, oh, you know. Got up. I think my 2001 is somewhere down in here. And then, like I said, in my journal, I got stuff about when I was trying to work and what it was like. And just like my online journal, but in my journal, I have documented accounts. So, yeah, they're bastards to do this to the person. And they'll do it to, they've done it to other people apparently, and they'll do it to anyone at any time. Anyone who thinks it was easy to get through appeals, that's a handout. They have no fucking idea. No fucking clue. I worry about them punishing me if I'm outside. I mean, I already have a tough time going outside regularly, and when I have a streak of doing well, I just want to live my life. And when you win your claim, slept on the couch. I was just gonna nap. It was about 10 o'clock. All the cats are here. Going, why are you making us up? 12:56 a.m. I heard my alarm, and at 10:30 something, 11 o'clock, 10:45 and 11, and I chose to sleep instead of get up because I was exhausted. Instead of so I didn't type my words, and I broke my word streak. I don't sleep well on the couch. I woke up a couple times. I watched what's that show called? It was on Netflix, Altered Carbon, and in it, people have stacks in them, and they can put them into new sleeves, different bodies, not just about living forever, but it's like immortality. I mean, you, as long as you don't blow the stack, destroy it, you can put in a new body. when you've had damage or you're getting older, you just want to change. Whatever. You know? And, in the nightmare, a whole lot was going on. I don't remember stuff now because I went to the washroom after getting up, which is something I do, and that often shakes the dreams off of me. But I know that I purposely shot out or mentioned shooting out mine, so that I could, you retain the memories in yourself of who you were up into that, I don't know, something. Yeah, Alter Carbon was a great season. The first season, hopefully there's another season, was fantastic sci-fi series. And I love the diversity of the cast and everything. This was more personal interpretation of having it influence my dream, because from about 3:30 in the afternoon yesterday, or just before, when I had first taken photos and video, to when husband and I stopped at 8 o'clock at night. So we spent over 4 hours, 4.5 hours of going through my wsib paperwork. We only went through one copy of my file. I have a couple, and I'm gonna need to get an updated one because the file itself only goes till 2010, save for bits of paperwork that I received since then that I'll have to find that's thrown in the mix of all that paperwork. I've got file folders in my filing cabinet that are in chronological order, from personal files, from documentation received connected to what I went through, be it rent, medical, all that stuff. Because rent would get in arrears when you're not receiving a paycheck, or earning one. I have been employed there for over 11 years when they had me finally taken out for WSB to finally do something. What I find curious, what I have to make a note about, is that I need to, when I request my file, there's not only memos missing, but I'll have to verify that when I go through duplicate copies of my file. There's some memos missing, and they're numbered. The ones that are the internal, like the notes to my file, made by caseworkers, case managers, whatever they have been called throughout the years. I want to find out what was, there's nothing there also from the first original claim, because my claim was approved in the early 2000s, and then again in 2000, 5 or 6, I don't know, something like that. But it's murky right now. I just woke up, and honestly, the years are just so. I looked at so much paperwork. But anyway, I want whatever documentation. They probably had a different system working then, but I have to remember when I'm requesting my file, I'm going to request the file on the original claim as well, because the claim has an added number now, a 0 at the end of it, because it doesn't have enough claim numbers to meet as its original number, like enough numbers in the claim number. So this is a note to self as well, that I think I want to specifically ask for any documentation, correspondence between the employer, wsib, or anything about on my file from the time frame prior to them reactivating my file in 2000 and whenever it was, 2000, 2001. Work put me out of the factory in 2000 for 9 months before I received kind of just compensation and no explanation with no follow-up. So I need more information. This isn't just my reaction to the stuff going on with that disabled worker who's being criminally charged and discredited for their injury after all these years and everything they went through, including their own appeals, which I have gone through and partially won. It's called a partial win. It wasn't a full. For what? But it was a win. And I guess I think at first I was like just yesterday I was doing it because I needed to finally, like, I've kept my paperwork in my filing cabinet, but I haven't been able to handle emotionally sorting through it. When you get your file, it's not all in order. I mean, it's under some categories, it's categorized, split into some categories, but it's very disorganized. It's a mess. And one thing I'm good at is organizing paperwork. Go me. I think that's why I also had wanted to be an archivist at one point. I liked things like that being organized. And anyway, I knew that this would be emotionally difficult for me. Not to mention it's also like irritating to touch such old paperwork from the time when I was living in the apartment where I went to and from working in the factory. I went through those phases because I have my own separate medical files from the file that I got from wsib. I have my own file folders for the years dealing with the short-term time off, and like I said, my rent and earnings and all that stuff is all in separate files. So I've got those files that are connected to the claim in my own personal way. Then I've got the files that include wsib paperwork that wasn't sent to me, that's in their files, that was later sent to you if you request it. Anyway, I've organized. It's really hard to go through that stuff. And while I did not have that sorted all these years, it's 2018, I won in 2013, and prior to that I had lots of files because I had been dealing with them that through the this time since 2006, 2005 or 6. Again, like I said, it's murky right now. I think 2006. I don't know. But the original claim is my injury date. They say is 98, but it's before that. I think where I have first aid reports and the time that the factory had me out was the first time, but nothing happened, and I ended up back at work 9 months later. Anyway, I'm repeating myself, but the point is that I went through all the files of one file, if that makes any sense. We organized all the files so that they're in order, and then we have the bottom drawer has the other 2 copies of my file that were as requested at different times. It's at the bottom of the drawer. I wonder when the last time I requested a file was. I must have requested my file. Maybe I didn't request it since. I have to see what years, what times. I think I saw 2 requests. But I think I did it 3 times, and then, it's exhausting. It's so mentally, it's meant to destroy you. I don't know, do most injured workers keep files for so long? Do they keep every bit of paperwork that related to their claim? Not every bit. I mean, I got rid of the investment stuff related to retirement. That email, yearly letter. Certain things. And I'm not going to keep triplicates of everything. But I am going to get this sorted. One of the things that helped was figuring out the internal memo system. Not the system, but the way that they're numbered, and it's not just a date. Their memo number, and they refer to those memo numbers. Which I kind of knew, but I could see the memos all when I finally put them in order. And one interesting thing about noticing was there are missing memos. Now, I won't know until I get through my other copies of the file, and for benefit of doubt, go request another copy of my file, hopefully the entirety, and also hopefully some stuff older than this file. So I don't know if I request it under the original file number, which is just missing the 0. But I want to see if they don't include the same memos in every copy of my claim, every copy of the file that I received, or if it's just, if I'm gonna find those other memos in the other files. If it's just a matter of the printer ran out of paper, or whatever it is, whatever happened, because I don't want to assume any maliciousness on the part of the people who keep who deal with that part of the job. And it's not the case manager that does that. It's there's a department for handling sending out Anyway, I want to know what's missing. So I'll make a notation. Once I've gone through the other 2 copies of the file that I have, and once I've requested and received the most updated one, which will have an extra 7 years plus the months of this year, 2018, included in it. Some of that correspondence is going to be, there shouldn't be a lot, because after the final appeals in 2013, there wasn't a lot of activity. There was a little bit, so I am curious to see what I receive. Anyway, getting it organized isn't just about what initially motivated it, which is like severe anxiety regarding the fact that they could do that to someone, just take it away again, and put them through such emotional distress, which I personally am feeling as well, whether it's because I empathize with the worker, or I think of how it would impact me and my family being my husband, myself, and my cats, if we lost what income I receive, and also of how it's impacting me, thinking about the choices for making my future. I want to continue with school. I want to have some business from home. I want to do social media, and